Governments around the world have historically been notorious for covering up reports of unidentified aerial phenomena. What you're about to see are some of the most incredible UFO cases involving military personnel. The first incident in our list occurred in July 2019. U.S. warships were performing military exercises about 100 miles off the coast of San Diego when they came across several unidentified crafts that appeared to be monitoring their movements. Notes from the ship's logs show the officers believed their vessels were being surveilled by unknown aerial vehicles. The public got a glimpse of the objects when this night vision footage, recorded on the destroyer USS Russell, was leaked to the public. It shows 3 unidentified triangular-shaped crafts hovering overhead. Reports of pyramid-shaped UFO sightings go back to the early 1970s and have continued until today. Could these objects have been Russian or Chinese drones monitoring U.S. military operations? Or something otherworldly? On August 15, 1950, Great Falls, Montana baseball coach, Nick Mariana, was out scouting a new ball field accompanied by his secretary. He had brought along a 16mm film camera. He began filming when he noticed something unusual in the sky. Mariana pointed his camera towards the anomaly and captured 2 silver objects appearing to fly in tandem across the Montana sky. What makes this video interesting is that the sighting took place before satellites crowded our skies. So to see these lights traveling across the sky was very unusual. After reporting the incident, Mariana was interviewed by military officials. Here's what he told them at the time.
We play out of Great Falls, Montana, and are a farm club of the Brooklyn Dodgers. On August 15, 1950, at Legion Ballpark in Great Falls, Montana, after a couple of hours in the clubhouse office, I went up into the grandstand to call the groundskeeper. As I reached the top of the stairway, I glanced northward to the tall Anaconda Copper Company smokestack to check the direction of the wind from the white smoke. Force of habit, I suppose, because our outfielders use it as an indicator on defensive play. As I looked up, I saw 2 silvery objects moving swiftly out of the northwest. They appeared to be moving directly south. The objects were very bright and about 10,000 feet in the air. They appeared to be of a bright, shiny metal, like polished silver. Both were the same size and were traveling at the same rate of speed, which was much slower than the jets which shot by shortly after I filmed the discs. Suddenly they stopped. It was then I remembered the camera in the glove compartment of my car. I raced downstairs yelling for my secretary, Miss Virginia Ronick. The distance from the top of the stairway to my car is about 60 feet, and I must have made that in about 6 jumps. I asked my secretary if she saw anything, and she said yes, 2 silvery spheres. I unlocked the glove compartment of my car, took out the camera, turned the telephoto lens on the turret into position, set the camera at f/22, picked up the objects in the viewfinder, and pressed the trigger. The discs appeared to be spinning like a top and were about 50 feet across and about 50 yards apart. I could not see any exhaust, wings, or any kind of fuselage. There was no cabin, no odor, no sound, except I thought I heard a whooshing sound when I first saw them. As the film clicked through the camera, I could see the objects moving southeast behind the General Mills grain building and the black water tank directly south of the ballpark. I filmed the objects until they disappeared into the blue sky behind the water tank.
What were these objects, and where did they come from? The next video is also very compelling. This is a copy of a Soviet newspaper from November 29, 1968. Translated, the copy reads, 5 glowing balls of light appear over the horizon and started to move in the direction of the city. 4 of the objects moved in opposite direction while the 5th began to rapidly lose altitude and soon completely disappeared behind the forest terrain. Several seconds after its disappearance, there was a deafening explosion. After the incident, the Soviet government released a statement saying that the blast had taken place at a grain storage unit, and that it was caused by one of the employees who had violated the safety code. While rumors that the explosion was the result of a UFO crash, it wasn't until a man obtained a purported secret KGB film from the black market that shows what could be remarkable new evidence of extraterrestrial visitation. If this film indeed corresponds to the newspaper story, what we are looking at is a scene of the crash site that is viewed by a camera on top of a military truck. The video shows what appears to be a flying disc embedded in the ground. The soldiers get off the truck and approach the commander, and they join other soldiers already on the scene. The footage seems to depict armed Russian military personnel protecting the crash site. Others appear to be examining the craft. The video was shot using several cameras, covering multiple angles. At one point, a man believed to be a KGB agent directs the cameraman to point his camera towards the disc. But how did the object get there? Based on information from the article, researchers created a computer animation to illustrate how they believe the crash may have occurred. If this video is authentic, the question then becomes, where did this object come from? And more importantly, what has happened to it since? This video was captured by a remote-controlled cameras from a Nevada Air Force base in 1994.
We acquired this unknown object, aircraft some type. It seems to be hovering.
The fascinating video shows what appears to be a craft of undefined shape and origin that's moving in a pattern that cannot be explained by the aircraft technology available at the time.
We'll call this a kill on its unknown aircraft. T1 control doesn't know what type of aircraft it is either.
The object moves slowly above the horizon and then shoots upward. It does not appear to have any wings or rotor blades. If this was some top-secret craft tested by the US military, you would think the operators would know what was going on. But they didn't. The military report on the incident remains classified, so we don't know what this object was. This leaked footage was captured from inside the USS Omaha in 2019. It comes from surveillance cameras in the ship's Combat Information Center, and shows a spear-like object, flying near the vessel in windy and choppy conditions, but it doesn't appear to be affected by the weather.
Just sped up to 46 knots, 50 knots, and then actually 38 knots. Going fast.
As officials at the Omaha are preparing to launch a helicopter to investigate, the object suddenly dives into the ocean.
What was splashed? Mark bearing and range.
The Omaha and a nearby submarine reportedly scrambled to search the water for signs of the object, but found nothing. The plunging into the ocean makes this anomaly a USO, or an unidentified submerged object. These crafts have been documented by the world navies for decades, and some theorists believe that they come from secret alien underwater bases. Is it possible that there's a species more advanced than humans, living in our planet and hiding out in places we can't reach? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.